Hey, Daily Dosers, Chris here. It is so good to be back with you guys again. I took a little break, took my vacation time kind of all together this summer, had a bunch of family stuff going on. It was an amazing time. Had a great weekend back at North Coast this weekend. And man, fun to jump back with you Dosers. And yet, I feel like I'm breaking my word with you today. I feel like I'm going back on our commitment and promise to you. I'm going to try to justify it. But at the end of this, you go, no, that didn't work for me. And if so, I deeply apologize. We've told you from the beginning, 5-minute devos every day. We're not going to go over 5 minutes, and we're not going to sell you anything. It's not about pushing products. It's not about us trying to say, buy into this or sign up for this or do that. It's just trying to give you the word to live on. However, this last weekend at North Coast, in looking at Revelation chapter 17 and 18 and the world's culture and system, the prostitute of abominations that rides on a beast, that's the picture that was painted, and the souls that she has taken captive, the world's economy and culture that is ravaging people and ripping them away from the love of God. We ended with a call for some to say, if you want to, for years now, we've been working with Compassion International, an organization that's simply there to rescue kids from physical and spiritual poverty, and they will only do it through a local church. It's not a feeding program. It's not a welfare program. It's not just a help the needy program. It's about spiritually connecting them with a local church in their area. And I am a skeptic about these things. I am a cynic. I've been to so many countries and seen the song of dance of organization. I don't believe in sponsorship programs most of the time. I don't know where the money goes. Does this kid really? But I tell you, I've kicked the tires, checked under the hood of Compassion International in 5 different countries before we ever pulled the trigger on it here. And for the last maybe 15 years of North Coast, we have seen this program in amazing ways. And so I'm not going to sell you. I'm not just going to sign up. I really feel like today I'm going to offer you something that may just change your heart and your mind when it comes to what you're doing in the world today. And it's not about North Coast. I'm not selling you anything North Coast today. But let me tell you where it comes from. In Matthew 25, right before Jesus goes to Jerusalem and takes the cross, he's teaching about what the kingdom of God is going to be looking like. And in Matthew 25:34, he says, let me tell you what the end will look like. The king will say to those on his right, come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Now the righteous people, the followers of God, are going to answer, Lord, when did we do any of this? When did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit? God, when did I do anything for you, Jesus? And the king will reply, I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these, my brothers of mine, you did for me. Whatever you have done for the least in the kingdom, because they couldn't do it for themselves, that's when you know you serve me. Again, I hate doing these moments that turn into drive-by guiltings. Everyone's got to sign up to have kids. Everyone's got no. Compassion International is a tool. It's not the rule. The rule is, to those who have been given much, blessed with much, much will be expected. That's us, as most Americans. The rule is, where are we serving those who are hungry, who are needy, who are without clothes, without food? Compassion is a tool if we're not doing that somewhere else. So I do want to do that. For Daily Dose today, we've left it up on our website, northcoastchurch.com. It's not about North Coast. We don't get a cut of this. We don't get a percentage of this. If you want to go, hey, now's a good time in my life where I'd love to sponsor a kid. You don't sponsor them for a couple months or a year. You sponsor them until they graduate from high school. You are going to make sure they have their education. They're going to have food daily. They're going to have clothes, and they're going to have all the medical treatment and attention they need, however often they need it for whatever comes in their life. That's what we sponsor. We're doing most of our work in Ecuador right now, where we've got over 3,000 kids sponsored. Where we built 6 churches that these kids are going to. And we have seen an incredible blessing in our life and in our church. So today, it's not for all of you. Some of you go, Chris, we're giving somewhere else. Chris, we're doing this. Chris, this is where we're impacting the world. Keep doing it. For those of you that go, I don't know if I ever have a place to show this is where I'm serving the least of those. Would you go to northcoastchurch.com? It's got a compassion button right there. Just click on it. I think it's $42 a month, something like that, to change a kid's life, to change a family's life. Because one day I want to show up and say, God, this is how I served you. as well as everything else. We'll see you tomorrow.